Hello students, welcome to the biology class. Today we are going to continue with our chapter Biotechnology, its principle and processes. In our previous sessions we discussed about the construction of recombinant DNA and we have started with the tools for biotechnology, in which we have discussed about the restriction enzymes, gel electrophoresis, and today we are going to discuss a very important tool, that is cloning vectors. What are vectors? Vectors are the DNA molecules that carry the foreign DNA segment, desirable DNA segment, into the host cell. And they are also known as the vehicle DNAs, passenger DNAs, which carry the foreign DNA, desirable DNA segment into the host cell. And the vectors that may be plasmid. What are plasmid? These are autonomously replicating circular extra chromosomal DNA present in the prokaryotic cell or in the bacteria. Number two, that is your bacteriophages. These are the viruses that infect the bacteria. Bacteriophage have the high number of per cell and very high copy number within the bacterial cell. What do you mean by copy number? It is defined as number of copies of vectors present in the cell, means the number of the plasmid present in the bacterial cells. It varies from 1 to 100 copies per cell. The best known vector is the plasmid vector, and PBR is your first artificially cloning vector, which is developed in 1977, where that is P stands for the plasmid, B stands for the Bolivar, R stands for the Rodrich, from the E. coli plasmid by the number 322. The following features are required to facilitate the cloning into the vector, and these are: number one is origin of replication, number two is selectable marker, and number three is your cloning sites, and the next is your vectors for cloning genes in plants and animals. So one by one we will discuss their features along with their functions. So first is ORI. So before we discuss one by one, first have a look on the artificially synthesized plasmid, or you can say the cloning vector, that is your PBR, and they are having the ORI, that is the origin of replication. They are having ROP. ROP is code for the protein involved in the replication of plasmid. They are also having a selectable markers as ampicillin R or tetracycline R, that is the antibiotic resistant genes, and they are having the site where these particular restriction enzyme can cut and ligate the desirable or the foreign DNA, which undergoes the formation of the copies. So first we are taking ORI, that is your origin of replication. This is the DNA sequence that is responsible for initiating the replication. Any piece of DNA, when linked to this sequence, they can replicate within the host cell. ORI also control the copy number of linked DNA. For many copies of target DNA, it should be cloned in the vector whose origin sports high copy number. Number two, and the very important feature of the plasmid, that is a cloning vector, is selectable marker. So it helps to select the host cell which contain the vector that is transformed, or eliminate the non-transformed. So this is able to select between the recombinant and the non-recombinant host cells. What is transformation is defined as procedure by which the piece of DNA is introduced into the bacterial cell, that is with the help of the vector they can introduce. So the genes which encoding the resistant to the antibiotic, that is ampicillin, that is chloramphenicol, that is your tetracycline or kanamycin, they are used as a selectable markers which used to select the host cell whether they contains the recombinant or non-recombinant, or you can say transformed or non-transformed vectors. So normal E. coli do not carry resistance against any of these antibiotics. So the next is your cloning site. To link the alien DNA, that is your foreign DNA, the vector requires a very few, that is mostly a single recognition site for the restriction enzyme. More than one recognition site within the vector can complicate the gene cloning as it will generate the several fragments. Ligation of alien DNA, that is your foreign DNA, can carry out at the restriction site present in one of the two antibiotic resistant genes, either towards the ampicillin or towards the tetracycline, by having the restriction enzyme, that is a BAMH1, or you can say PVU1 or PST1. By using that, we can ligate the alien DNA or the foreign DNA which carry out that particular restriction sites, and then they can multiply. The vector for the cloning genes in the plants and animal. So these are the several vectors which are used for cloning the genes in plants and animal. In plant, the tumor inducing plasmid, that is TI, of Agrobacterium tumefaciens is used as cloning vector. This is a pathogen of a several dicot plant because it is a tumor inducing plasmid. So it delivered the piece of DNA known as the tDNA in TI plasmid, which transformed the normal plant cells into the tumor cell to produce the chemical against the pathogens. So retrovirus, adenovirus, they are also used as a cloning vector in the animal because they have ability to transform the normal cells into the cancerous cells. They are first disarmed and then used to transfer the desirable gene into the animal cell. So the selection of recombinant form can be done by the following methods. So how the selectable markers, they are used to select whether that is recombinant or non-recombinant host. So we are having two techniques or two methods. The first method is your inactivation of antibiotic. If the foreign DNA ligates at BAMH1 site of tetracycline resistance in vector PBR322, the recombinant plasmid loses the tetracycline resistance due to the insertion of the foreign gene, and they are being ligate at BAMH1. It can still be selected out from non-recombinant one by plating the transformant on the ampicillin containing medium. The transformant growing on ampicillin containing medium are then transferred to the medium containing tetracycline. Recombinant can grow in ampicillin containing medium but not on containing the tetracycline, whereas non-recombinant can grow on the medium containing both the antibiotic, and thus the recombinant can be selected. But there is one more alternative method for the selectable marker, and that is more better method and more practical method, that is the insertional inactivation on the basis of the color production. In the presence of chromogenic substrate, the recombinant and non-recombinant can also be differentiated. A recombinant DNA is inserted with a coding sequence of enzyme beta-galactosidase, which results into inactivation of enzyme. Hence, there is no conversion of substrate to the product. Bacterial colonies having the transport plasmid shows no coloration, while those without the inserted plasmid, they form the blue color. So in this way, the selectable marker can select the recombinant transformed combinant from the non-transformed. So they are very important. Go through them once again. So the next is your competent host or transformation of recombinant DNA. So we know that the DNA is hydrophilic molecule and they cannot pass through the cell membrane, because cell membrane is made up of a phospholipids that is hydrophobic, and therefore bacteria should be made competent, means they have to be made permeable so that the DNA can be accepted by the host cell. So that is what is competency. It is the ability of the cell to take up the foreign DNA, and the cell is made competent by the following methods. So we are having two methods. One is the chemical method, another is the physical method. So first we will take the chemical method. It is also known as your vector method. The cell is treated with the specific concentration of divalent cations such as calcium to increase the pore size in the cell wall. The cells are incubated with the recombinant DNA on ice, followed by placing them at 42 degrees centigrade and then putting it back on the ice. So first the cells are incubated with the recombinant DNA on the ice, followed by placing them briefly for a very short while at 42 degrees centigrade and then putting back on the ice. So this treatment is known as heat shock treatment, and the bacteria now take up by the recombinant DNA. So in this way, the recombinant DNA, which is having the foreign DNA, that can be taken up by the bacteria, means that enters the bacteria. So first we have to create the pores, that is in the form of a channels or the gate through which the recombinant DNA can enter, and by the heat shock method that pores are being resealed. The next is your physical method, in which without using the vector, this is also known as the vectorless method. So here that is the micro injection method. Recombinant DNA is directly injected into the nucleus of animal cell of micropipettes. And the next is your biolistic or the gene gun, and the cells are bombarded with the high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with DNA in the plants. So micro injection method, that is used for injected into the nucleus of the animal, that is with the help of a micropipettes, whereas the biolistic or the gene gun is bombarded with the high velocity microparticles of the gold and tungsten coated with DNA in the plant. So this is for the plant cells, and the micro injection method is for the animal cells. So disarmed pathogen vectors are also used to transfer the recombinant DNA into the agrobacterium DNA, which is being known as your plant engineers. So this is very important. So with this we finish the role of the various tools one by one, and in next session we will discuss about the process of recombinant technology, in which we will take the following steps, that is the isolation of DNA, followed by the fragmentation, then isolation of desired DNA fragments, amplification we will take, then ligation, then insertion of recombinant DNA into the host, culturing of the host cells on the suitable medium at the large scale, extraction of the desired gene product, downstream processing of the product as a finished product ready for marketing, ready for the commercialization. So these are the various processes of the recombinant DNA technology. So these are the 9 steps. By using these 9 steps, we can have a recombinant DNA, we can have a foreign DNA with us, we can have a desirable gene which we can use for the commercialized purpose, which are ready for the marketing. So this is the diagram, or you can say the stepwise formation of the recombinant DNA. So first there is the foreign DNA, this is your plasmid or the DNA, vector DNA. Same restriction enzyme is used for cutting both the foreign DNA and the vector DNA at the specific points, so like this way and this, which is called as your recognition points. Then with the help of a enzyme ligase, they join the foreign DNA into the plasmid. So here they are being joined, so they form the recombinant DNA, and then they are being transformed into the bacterial cells, that is called as the transformation by the chemical method, and then they will multiply and they form the copies of the desirable genes. So these are the stepwise formation of the various, you can say. So in our next session we will discuss these steps one by one. Till then, stay home, stay happy. Thank you and have a nice day.